Okay, so let's look at some of our tools that we have for moving and copying text. So whether we're moving or copying text, we're either going to be doing something called a cut and paste. That would be for moving it. Or if we were going to be copying our text, we would do a copy and a paste. And we've got other techniques as well, but that's more or less your standard. So let's say we have a few paragraphs here for the Canadian provinces. So let's say we've got these two paragraphs here. And what I like to do is take this paragraph and move it between these two. So in other words, just kind of switch around the two paragraphs. And so the first way we're going to do this is we're going to go ahead and we're going to first of all select the paragraph. So I'll just go ahead and do a triple click on that, and that'll select the whole paragraph. And then what I'll do is do a right click on it and hit cut. All right, and now that completely removes it. Now it's in memory right now, so now I'll go back over here to the beginning of this paragraph, right click it, and I'm going to click on to paste, just plain old paste, and there we go, and that flips it around. Now another way we can do this is by using something called the drag and drop. So the way I would do that would be, let's just say for instance I want to take maybe now this paragraph and I want to move it to where this one is at and kind of push everything else down. So I'll triple click it again, all right? Point anywhere on it, hold down my mouse button, all right, my left mouse button, and I'm going to drag it up to there, and you can kind of see that little black I-beam there. So we just kind of get right to the very beginning there, let go, and you drag and dropped. So this works really well in other situations where maybe you want to rearrange maybe a sentence. So let's say I want to take this sentence here, the for example, and I want to put that in place of here. So it'll push all that over. So again, what I'll do is I'll select the sentence, and I can do that by holding down my control key, clicking it, all right, that gets it selected. And then what I'll do is I'll point anywhere on the sentence, hold down the mouse, left mouse button, drag it over there, let go, and voila. Now you might run into a situation where where you might have pulled the space as well, and you can kind of see how I did that there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get right about there, backspace, so that gets rid of that. And I think that's good there. Oh, no, it isn't. So I guess it looked like it had too much space. But in any event, though, this one here, bad situation, not hard to fix. We would just click right at the very beginning there, right? Hit the space bar and fixes it that way. So you might run a few casualties along the way when you're doing the drag and drop, but it's pretty easy to fix. Now, let's say I wanted to take two paragraphs. Let's say I want to take these two paragraphs here. So I'll select that, probably the easiest way. And then what I'll do is I'll just kind of point to here, drag it to where I want to put it, let go, and voila, flipped around just like that. No problems on that one. Now we have another tool that we can use, and it's called the Clipboard. And the Clipboard is going to allow us to accumulate multiple things that we've cut or copied, and then later on paste them in any order at any time. Okay, so here's the scenario. Usually when people are doing this cutting and pasting stuff, it's like, okay, I need to take this out from here, cut it from here, and put it over here. So it's always like ta-dun, 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 ta-dun. Well, what if what you wanted to do was maybe cut a whole bunch of different things out and then later on paste them in whatever order at different parts of the document. So you're not always stuck with having to cut and then paste, cut and then paste. How about if we just do cut, 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 and then we can paste them wherever we want to put them. All right, and this works really well, especially if you're maybe going between documents and you want to maybe grab a bunch of stuff, a bunch of text, paragraphs, whatever, from one of your, one of your documents into the other. So there's a lot of different situations for it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom out here a little bit and get maybe about a 3-page thing here. So you can't really read it that well, but we're not going to worry about that at this point. At least you can kind of see what it is, all right? And I want to take a number of different areas here and kind of move them around. So instead of, like I said before, having to cut and then immediately having to paste it somewhere, cut it, immediately paste, we're going to do a bunch of cuts, all right? Again, you can do this with copying as well, but I think the main focus of this particular feature is really the ability of kind of grabbing a bunch of stuff and then, you know, putting it elsewhere, you know. So here's what we're going to do first of all. In the Home tab, you'll see this Clipboard group here, and you'll see the little dialog box button. So if you click onto that, little panel opens up. Initially, it'll have in it all the things that you've cut and copied while you were in this particular document. So what I'm going to do, I'm just go ahead and just clear this out, because that was from what we had before when I had done a cut. So in any event, though, what we'll do first of all is, let's say I want to take this whole chunk right here. Okay, so I'm going to take that area right there. All right, I'm going to do a right click on it. I'm going to hit cut, and then you'll see how that goes in there, right? Then what I'll do is I might take maybe this one right here, those two paragraphs along with the heading, and I'll go ahead and I'll just do a right click on that, and I can hit cut there as well. So now that goes in, see? And then I'll go here to this third one here for the Mexican Baja, and I'll drag from there all the way down to here. So I'm doing there. I'll right click that, cut it, and now that's in there, see? So the most recent thing that you've done will be at the very top, as you can see here. So we got the Mexican, we got the Tampa, and we've got the Chicago, all right? Then what you do is you say, okay, so let's say you've done that enough times, right? Well, we'll do it one more time, what the heck? So we'll go over here, and I'll select this area right there, right click it, hit cut. So now we've got the fourth one in here. But you can have, just so you know, I think up to like 23 cut and paste, or cuts that you can do, or copies that you can do that put in there. Now we could go to a whole brand new document, let's say, and go ahead and just do the paste all, and that will paste them in the order that you see here. Okay, so that's one thing you can do. And a lot of people do that if they're writing manuals and things like that. They might go ahead in there and select select each of the pages, let's say, and cut it. So they might have, let's say, 20 pages, and then what they'll do is they'll go to a brand new document and they'll just paste it all at once, or maybe just remain in that document because they've cut everything out, let's just say, and then they'll go ahead and just paste it all in there. But you can also paste it in any order that you want to do, as I was saying in the beginning. So let's just say we go down, let's say I go down the end here. So, okay, I'll hit the enter key, and that'll pretty much start a new area there. And let's say at that point there, I want to put in the Mexican Baja, all right? So you'll see this little drop-down arrow right here. So you click onto that, all right? And we have something here called paste. So I paste that one in there, just like that. And if you want to make sure that you don't maybe do a double entry somewhere, right after you do that, you might want to go back in there and delete that. So I'll pull that one out, see? So then we'll go maybe up to maybe this point here, all right? And maybe I want to put the Chicago one in there, so I'll go to here, click onto that. Oh, just so you know, the machine crashed on me for some reason, so I got back to where I'm at here. So I think I would say I want to go to here and go ahead and put in, let's say, the Chicago one here. So I'll just click onto that, all right? Hit paste, all right? And now the Chicago one goes in there. And then I'll go back there again and delete that one, right? And then I'll go over, let's say, to, maybe I'll go to the end here now, all right? I want to put the Tampa one in there, so I'll click onto that, and I'll paste that one in, all right? And then I'll end it with Grafton. Let's say I'll put Grafton there. So I'll click onto there, hit paste, and Grafton goes in there. Then if you just want to clean it up here, we could just hit clear all, and that'll clear all that out and just close up that panel, and now we're back to there. So there you go. And again, we could have done this on a brand new document. We could have picked up all the little pieces here, right? Gone over a new document, pasted it in there in any order that we'd like. So hopefully this helps. This is, I think, a great little tool to have, especially if you're, taking, pretty much any size document, and you just need to kind of move things around and things like that. That's a great little tool for that. So appreciate you watching the video. Take care.